Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Having Cam Hayward is cheat code for young players. Keena Benton says the Pittsburgh Steelers have always had great defensive players for the rookies and young players to learn from, but it's a little different when that player is Cam Hayward. The Steelers' all-time leader in games played by a defensive player, he has more than a thing or two to pass down to young players. Better yet, he is more than willing to play the role of a mentor. Until the 2025 NFL Draft, the only defensive linemen taken over the first 2 days since Hayward was picked in 2011 were Stephon Tuitt, Javon Hargrave, and Keena Benton. That is a perfect track record in terms of drafting and developing top-end DL talent. One of the common denominators in that impressive track record is Hayward. I say sometimes it's a cheat code with Cam. He's been in the league 15 years, Keena Benton said via the Money Down podcast. He a great personable guy, and it's easy to not be humble when you got a status like he does. And he makes sure to make time for the young bucks, and you can really tell it's bigger than football with him. Hayward has seen everything there is to see in the NFL as he's matched up against some of the all-time great offensive linemen. As a base defensive end in the Steelers system, he knows how to play out in more space, but he also plays over 50% of his snaps aligned over guards. That gives him the expertise to help coach up anybody in the Steelers' defensive line room. There is a reason that Hayward has been a defensive captain for 10 consecutive years, a feat only accomplished by 2 other Steelers in team history. He not only plays at a Hall of Fame level on the field, but he's a Hall of Fame teammate in the locker room, too. Sharing his recovery habits with me. Basically, everybody he work with, I work with, Benton said. His Pilates instructor, his masseuse, active release therapist. I've worked with all of them, and he's just basically told me how to keep up with it. Kind of steal his schedule a little bit, just figuring out what works for me. I think he helped me off the field a lot for sure. For Benton, having a mentor like Hayward has likely accelerated his NFL learning curve by years. I think it was telling that Benton, as a second-year player, was already seen getting up in front of the meeting room and addressing the entire defense on HBO's Hard Knocks. That's the other benefit of spending a lot of time around somebody like Hayward. If you pay enough attention, he can teach you how to be a good player and a good leader. With the 2025 draft class having a pair of defensive linemen, including Derek Harmon, the only first-round pick at the position since Hayward in 2011, the Steelers are entering the perfect situation with Hayward still on the roster. Just as Hayward learned from guys like Aaron Smith, Brett Kiesel, and Casey Hampton, Harmon and Yehia Black now have the opportunity to grab the torch and carry it into the next generation of the Steelers' D-line. Hayward's contract runs through 2026, and he is showing no signs of slowing down after another All-Pro season in 2024. The incoming rookies should get at least 2 years to absorb as much as they can from the cheat code that is Cameron Hayward. The Steelers didn't just draft talent this year, they drafted talent with a mentor baked in. The importance of that can't be overstated. NFL schedule maker confirms Pirates are to blame for Steelers' frequent Week 1 road games. If you want to blame the Pirates for the Steelers never opening the season at home, you're in the clear. Mike North, who oversees the NFL's schedule-making procedure, confirmed that is yet another thing to blame on the Buccos. They very frequently tend to have a homestand when the NFL season opens, which logistically complicates orchestrating a home Steelers game. While they no longer play in the same stadium, the Steelers and Pirates share certain utilities like parking lots. If they were to play at the same time, it would be very chaotic for the city of Pittsburgh. Many NFL teams share a city with another major sports franchise, though, and they also have their schedule impacted by the logistics. It's definitely impacted by the Pirates' schedule. North confirmed on 93.7 The Fan about the Steelers' dearth of Week 1 home games. Since 2014, the Steelers have opened all but one season on the road. The lone exception was in 2023, then the Pirates didn't have home games scheduled. In discussing the MLB playoffs interfering with NFL schedules, North said last year that the Pirates didn't affect the Steelers' schedule yet. In that context, he was referencing Pittsburgh's MLB team as a perennial loser. They rarely play long into the NFL season because they don't make the playoffs. As a result, the NFL doesn't have the same problem with the Steelers as it has with, say, the Eagles with the Phillies. Philadelphia actually has a chance of making the playoffs, so the Eagles are less likely to have a large number of home games during the early portions of the season. For the Steelers, then it has pretty much been a matter of opening day. Since the NFL doesn't have to worry about a Pirates postseason run, it's also probably more likely to avoid conflicts. Let's say we go 2 or 3 years in a row where the Pirates have a home game on the opening Sunday, and so we can't or we won't schedule a Steelers home game that weekend, North said, who added the league is constantly aware of it. North is, by the way, a Pirates fan, so maybe he's secretly making sure it's easier for him to attend games. He did say that they would have to figure out how to have the Steelers and Pirates play on the same day if the latter ever advances to the postseason. Maybe someday, when the Pirates get good again and start making playoff runs in October, we'll have to figure out a way to do a Steelers game at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then maybe the Pirates host an NLCS game too at 8 o'clock that night, he said, half joking and half dying inside as a true Pirates fan. I know you guys can do it. But in the regular season for us, it's usually something we try to avoid. We already knew incontrovertibly that the NFL factors in Pirates games when making the Steelers' schedule. In 2015, when the Pirates had to reschedule a game, the NFL rescheduled a Steelers preseason game to accommodate. Will Howard shares thoughts on Aaron Rodgers potentially joining Steelers? Pittsburgh Steelers rookie quarterback Will Howard is currently fighting for his spot on the depth chart. Even though it would likely move him down a spot, Howard would love to have Aaron Rodgers join Pittsburgh's quarterback room. Howard was recently asked about the possibility during an appearance on Up and Adams. He shared that he grew up watching Rodgers play quarterback and wanted to be like him. That name's been thrown around a lot. One idolized him growing up, Will Howard said. I don't know what's going to happen, who knows, that's all over my head. While Howard doesn't have a say in the decision, he is hopeful that Rodgers will end up with the Steelers. With that said, Rodgers shared recently on the Joe Rogan Experience what is delaying his decision. He has been linked to the Steelers for months, but has yet to decide if he will play in Pittsburgh or anywhere else in 2025. I've figured it out during the last year when I've been in the weeds with these people who are close to me that have cancer, Rodgers said. Rodgers said that having people close to him battling cancer is taking a toll on him. He offered no timetable for a decision during his appearance with Joe Rogan and appears to be focused on his personal life at the moment. The rookie year for Will Howard is a critical one, and he will try to learn all he can in his first season in the NFL. Howard would love to have Aaron Rodgers be a part of that. You know, I'd love to be in a room and learn from him, Howard said. Again, who knows what's going to happen? I have no idea. That's above my head.